Hi, I'm Lois from Nancy's Notions, and today I'm going to teach you how to clean your machine so you have a well-maintained machine and a happy machine. The supplies that we'll be needing is canned air, a good quality tweezers, and cotton balls, and a microfiber cloth. To start out, what we will need to do is take your accessory tray off your machine, and now we have access to the free arm as to where the bobbin is and where you're going to clean out. On this machine, we're going to pop the front half off, and we're going to do a quick clean today. So I've got that off. I'm going to remove my bobbin, and I'm also going to remove the bobbin basket. As you can see, this is a little dusty in here, so we're going to clean it out. So I'm going to get my tweezers and my cotton ball. Now, my cotton ball is a little bit on the big side, so I want to cut it in half. I'm not pulling it apart because then I'm going to cause more little fuzzies and hairs. So I'm going to try and cut it in half. Take your tweezers, and now I'm going to swab out in the bobbin basket area. And look at this one. It's really been used, well used, okay? Lots of dust in there, alrighty? So I'm going to keep on going until I can't get any more out or I can't reach it anymore. And as you can see, that I have quite a bit here. Also, some of your machines have a thread snips, and now that you have it open in this area, you can check there too to make sure you don't have any threads caught. If you happen to see a thread, you can take your tweezers or some more lint and pull it out. Remember, do not pull out the little pad that's in there, because then your thread snip's not going to work, all right? So only get out the lint that you have to get out. And you can see that I've gotten some more out, because when you're cutting it off, it always leaves a little bit behind. I did not take the whole throat plate off on this machine. It's in two pieces. I just did a quick clean that I can do after, in between projects or after each project. After 5 or 6 projects, I will take apart the whole thing and actually take the full throat plate off, because there could be some more stuff under there. But if you keep it clean in front here, it's going to make a big difference. I do not want my threads and fibers and stuff to migrate through the machine over to this area, because this is where your motors are and your gears and your circuit boards are. So we want to keep away from that. Now, I have only showed you the quick way to clean your machine just in between projects, but you have to give it that thorough clean after maybe 6 or more cleanings. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. We need to take the whole throat plate off. I've got my little trusty screwdriver here, and I'm going to get this loose under here. And also my foot is in the way right now, and so is the needle. So, and I sometimes take that off too when I did the initial cleaning, so I don't accidentally sew through my fingers. A good thing too is to disconnect your foot control or remove it or kick it out of the way so you don't accidentally step on it and sew through your fingers. So now I'm going to take the screws out. Now I'm going to get myself a fresh cotton ball, and I'm going to cut a small piece off again because they're too big. And I'm going to dust in here again. Oh, look what I got here. Okay, so let me get another little piece. We'll cut another piece off here, and we're going to dust out again. So now you can see why we have to clean it thoroughly every once in a while too, and not just a quick clean all the time, right? Now, once I've got it cleaned out, I want to get the fine things out. I got the big stuff up. You notice I didn't use a brush when I was cleaning my machine. It's because all the brush does is move the lint from this spot to that spot, and it doesn't really pick it all up. It'll pick up the big pieces, but not some of the fine things as a cotton ball will. Now when I've got the big things out, I'm going to use my canned air right here. Now, people use this wrong, and some people are afraid to use it, and they heard horror stories. And what I have found is they're using it wrong. First of all, you do not shake it. Secondly, you don't turn it upside down. There is a liquid in here, and we want it to come out as air, all right? Also, too, when you're pulling on the little trigger here, you pull it with full force, so you've got all air and not a mixture of air in the liquid that's in there. If you want to get into small areas, you have a straw, and that makes it so you can bend around the corners and get into those places. Also too, when you're using it, you want to blow away from your motor in this area. We do not want to blow more into the machine back in here. We want to blow it out. Okay, you're saying that this arm is right here. That's no big deal. If there's some light stuff, sometimes it swirls and it comes out on top here. You can take it out. Otherwise, if you've got something heavier, it falls down in this bottom area, which is a dead space, which is perfectly fine. When you take it in for a yearly checkup to your local technician, he takes all the housing and then he can clean this out. At least you have it out of the gears. Alrighty? So I'm going to show you how to do this now. And I can see there's a big one in here. It came up. See, there's a big one that came up with the air. An alternative to the cotton ball and tweezers would be the little teeny tiny tank. As you can see, the little teeny tiny tank actually made this job a little faster than what a cotton ball and tweezers would. I also use my tank through other areas in my sewing room to clean up when I'm done with a project. Now, to put it back in, you have a bobbin basket. That's this little piece right here. Right here. This is your bobbin basket. That's what holds your bobbin. And on some of the machines, you have this little felt pad and a brush on here. They are on there because that's what holds your thread when you have the thread snips. Do not pull that off. Alrighty? So we're going to take our cotton ball and we're going to swab it out inside and the outside here. Okay. We've got our throat plate and we want to make sure there's nothing there. And this one, you notice, has a brush on here which holds your thread with the thread snips in that. So do not remove it or take it out, but just get up the lint with a cotton ball again. Alrighty? Now I'm going to reassemble and I'm going to put this on first. Once you put your throat plate on, make sure those screws are snug down nice and tight because we don't want that to come loose while you're sewing. On some machines, there's a little white dot on your bobbin basket right here, a little triangle, and there's a little tiny finger. And those are going to line up with the little dot that's right here in your machine, and there's a little spring right there. They need to line up in there. So I'm going to go in at an angle and it's laying flush, and it has a little wiggle room in it, but it's laying flush. Alrighty? Then I'm going to come along and put the other piece on. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure that everything is aligned. So I'm going to turn my flywheel one rotation and make sure everything stays put and it doesn't pop out. And that worked out great, so I know I've got everything seated right. Now, we need to rethread our machine and put our needle back in. This is a good time to put in a brand new needle. You will notice that I did not oil my machine. This particular machine does not require oiling, and if it doesn't, don't do it, alright? If there is oiling to be done, it's in the gears in it, and your mechanic will have that. It just takes a special oil, so don't use your oil. Okay. Now, you're done with your project and you want to change your thread. A lot of people have the habit of coming along and just taking the spool off and just pulling it out. Really, you shouldn't do that. What you're doing is you have some lint and fibers that have built up in your tension disc, and by pulling it backwards, you're actually seating it further back into your machine. We want to bring it forward and bring it out. So the proper way basically is to actually cut your thread right at the spool and then go down to your needle and pull it out through the needle. Next, we'd like to clean our machine, and you're going to use a microfiber cloth. Turn your machine off and dust it off. We always get all kinds of body oils from our fingers on the screen and it looks all smudged up, so by cleaning it off occasionally that'll help. Also too, remember, if you do have a touch screen and you use it, do not use a sharp object. Use either your finger or a provided stiletto when you're using it. Now, to clean the surface, it depends upon if you have stain or it's dirty or something, you can use your microfiber cloth again, or I keep around the house my old washcloths which come in handy and stuff, and to wipe it down. If you've got a stain or something, you need to get a little more elbow grease into it. I just take a little bit of soap, put it in a little area and just rub it in and get the color out or my stain that I might have. But make sure you wipe it all down clean after a while when you are done. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, hit the like button right here and don't forget to subscribe. Happy sewing!